Antonín.
And I'm Kylee.
And this is the Book Common Room podcast. Welcome back. As you can see, we have a new face. Everyone clap. This is Kylee. She's been our friend for freaking forever.
Yes.
We love her. She
Get her outta
is
here.
like this amazing writer.
Oh, yeah.
Reader. She's a smart gal.
Guys, stop.
Artist. She can do everything.
Literally.
That is saying a lot, but thank you. Thanks.
There's nothing she can't do.
Right?
But
So we really wanted to get a new voice on here. So we're like, who would be perfect? And we were like, Kylie would be perfect for this.
because she
Oh,
can't
thanks.
say no to us.
She can't say no. I was so excited.
Oh, we're so happy.
So glad. Okay, so we have some questions that we're going to ask you, but I feel like we need to introduce you just a little bit more. So let's see here. For socials, you need to go and find her. She has an amazing art account. She does Star Wars art. It's seriously
She has
legit.
a Patreon.
It's so
She's
cool.
got all the things.
She's got all the things. You got
This is the biggest hype squad I've ever had. This is so nice.
So you guys need to check it out. We'll have it linked below. Go check her out. She's awesome.
Yeah, that account and her writer's account.
To get to know Kylie a little bit more, we're going to do the same thing that we did at the beginning where we talked about the 8 books that made us. She has her list that she's prepared and curated and talk about. So, do you feel good?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so we're
I'm
going
so
to pass
excited.
the baton
So
over.
good.
What
Do you
are
want me
the
to just
8 books?
do you want me to just list the things or talk about each one why I like them? Just like list
How
the
did
books?
we do it?
We went it one by one. I read this and I liked it because of this.
Okay.
Yeah, you,
Cool.
you can
Okay.
spend as much time as you want
Okay.
with the books. Yeah.
Okay. I'll keep it a crash course because I can just talk about books forever. But
Oh.
okay, so I broke up the 8 books into like 2 that made me a reader as a kid that I really liked, and then I kind of took a break from reading for a while because like assignment wise, and then the last 6 on the list are books that got me into reading as an adult. So like
that.
Love
Yeah.
that.
that
That's so
are,
good.
and all of these remain my favorite books at the moment. So yeah.
Love it.
As a kid, it was Harry Potter, obviously.
It's a good one.
I think that
Got
was,
me into reading.
Yep. So good.
That was like the first big series I think I read, and yeah, I feel
Love
like
it.
enough has been
Harry
said about Harry
Potter.
Potter. It was really
oh,
good.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then,
We're
so,
lovers
and then the
Harry Potter.
Spiderwick Chronicles, actually.
I love the Spider-Man.
I totally
I
forgot
forgot
about
those
those.
existed.
Yeah.
I
Those
remember,
were so good.
I remember
Yeah.
like how the hardcovers felt.
Uh-huh.
I totally forgot about those.
I want you guys to know that so the Spiderwick Chronicles came out in a series of like little books, and then they also came out with like a field guide of magical creatures.
Mhm.
I bought the field guide like last month. So like straight up, I just
That's
love
so
the
cool.
Spiderwick Chronicles.
That's
It was so
awesome.
magical as a kid. I just loved it. So
Aw.
those 2 got me into reading as a kid. And then because of like high school and like homework and stuff, I kind of didn't like reading for like a few years. Or I did, I just didn't get around to it as much.
Yeah.
And
No,
then
we talked about that. Like
Yeah.
high school, I think it's
And
just
college.
the assignments. Like
And
when you get
college
burnt
and-
out,
yes.
they
it
burn you
happens.
out. Yeah.
Yep.
yes, and then like
Understandable.
and then I was like, you know what? I miss reading. And so
Mhm.
recently in the last like year or 2, I've kind of gotten back more into reading. And so these books are like my favorites of all time.
Okay,
So
I'm excited.
yes.
Yeah.
The first one is Rebecca by Daphne
So
du Maurier.
good.
Yes.
Love Rebecca.
I love it to death. Like
I need to read it.
the first time I read it was like a few months ago, and I was like, why have I not read this before? I think it kind of gave me hope in classics again, because the classics I have a hard time with a lot of the times. But like
Yeah.
Rebecca felt very modern in the sense that like it was doing things that books at the time weren't doing.
Mhm.
It had an unreliable narrator, which I love, and like it just was so atmospheric, and the prose was so good, and just the vibes were just so good. So
Love it.
I love that.
Rebecca.
Love the film adaptations for that.
That's
too.
true. There
I
are a
have
couple good ones.
yes, I think I watched one with you guys. Anyways,
We did.
Pretty good.
yeah. The next one was And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie.
Oh,
That's
my
a good one.
goodness.
That's a good one.
I listened to it first as a audiobook, and then my husband, anytime we were in the car together, I would make him listen to it as well. So like I listened to it twice, like this last month or
That's
whatever.
awesome.
Like you
So-
need to. This is important.
I just think it's crazy how many characters and questions she fit into such a small amount of time, because it's a
Yeah.
tiny book, but like
And like the twist is epic.
yes,
No, it's so good.
It's so
I
good.
literally, like I remember
So good.
watching the play
Yeah.
when I was younger, and then I watched like one of the film adaptations, like the old ones, and it was like black and white,
Yeah.
and I was like, I literally don't remember how this. Goes.
Yeah.
And so when
I
I got to
didn't
the end,
either.
I was like,
She knows exactly where to put information
Uh-huh.
to like get you to ask questions when she wants you to ask questions, like, and be wondering about things. It's just such a good book.
She's brilliant.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, this next one is The Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman.
I need to read it. I need to.
I will preface this by saying books don't make me cry, like, ever. I'll get emotional and like I'll feel it. Ocean at the End of the Lane, I was like weeping at the end of the book.
Really?
I can't explain why. It was like not even a sad ending. It was just I was like, oh my gosh. I think that was the first time in years where I had been sad to end a book because I was like, I don't want it
That's
to
so
be
precious.
over. But like it's told, minus the first and last chapters, the whole rest of the book is told from the perspective of a little boy. And like it's his memories of what is happening at his childhood home. And like I won't spoil anything, but it's just magical and spooky and it's just like
Love this.
so good. So Ocean at the End of the Lane. Howl's Moving Castle.
I love
The
that
book.
book.
I
It's so good.
I'd seen the movie.
Love the vibe.
It freaked me out as a kid. That's all I remembered about it. But then
okay.
It's okay.
I heard that
Just
the
freaky.
yeah. But then I heard that the book was really good, and I was like, you know what? I'm at work. I need an audiobook to listen to. It became one of my top like 3 favorite books ever.
Aw,
Like
I
love Howl's Moving Castle.
Have you read the whole series? Or...
Yes,
Okay,
I have.
I haven't read the whole series.
I read the whole
I read
series.
2 of them. There's 3, right?
There's
Yeah.
3.
Because it's the
Mhm.
sisters, right?
No, so Howl and Sophie are like in all 3, but very minimal roles in the other 2. Completely different characters in the second and third one. I liked the third one better than the second one.
Okay.
But yeah,
Okay.
all of them are
I'm trying to
good,
think
but
of
the
what I
first one I feel like can't be beaten for like the
Yeah.
magic that's in it, and it's
That's
just really
fair.
good. The Light Keepers by Abby Jenny.
Yes. Jason.
I read this book like once a year at least.
That's
It
another
is-
one that's got a good twist.
It does. It totally does. And I see a theme as I go through my list where I'm like,
Yeah.
kind of like dark, spooky, but like really magical and atmospheric. Yeah.
Suspenseful.
I think the reason I like The Light Keepers is because, so she's a nature photographer, and she's on this island with these other scientists studying the wildlife there, and like stuff happens and she has to kind of solve this mystery a little bit, but like I love settings that feel like characters in books,
Yeah.
and that setting I could picture more vividly than like any other setting that
Oh,
I've ever read.
100%.
Like just stormy islands, the ocean, like it's just so good. So yeah, The Light
That one's
Keepers, so good. And the last book on my list is Piranesi by Susanna Clarke, which so good,
Mhm.
so good. You have no idea what's happening for the first like 3
Oh,
chapters
Yeah.
by
okay.
Susanna Clarke.
Okay.
Yeah, it's amazing, and the protagonist is like, he's very naive, but like, and usually he's not dumb by any means. He's actually really smart, and he studies things very well, and he like charts things and stuff. But he's very naive when it comes to like what else is happening, and you as a reader kind of start to pick up on things where you're like, there's more to this than he thinks is happening. And like I love that in a book when you're reading and you're like figuring stuff out before the character does, and you're kind of one step ahead. I love when that happens because you're just like, he
I'm
figures
in
it
the
out and it's
know.
more satisfying because you're like, I knew it. And it's just really nice. The payoff is like really nice. So yeah, that's the last book on my list.
I love that.
But now we have. I love that we got to know you a little more through books. I feel like you can always figure out someone's personality by what books they like.
So
Yeah.
dark and spooky. Like,
I love it.
Really good.
But also like aesthetic, whimsy, I don't know,
Atmospheric.
suspenseful.
I love a good like whimsical fairy tale type book.
Yes.
Those are like my vibes.
Yes. 100%.
I love them. I love how they read. I love how it looks. It's
Mhm.
just great. I love it.
So now Lauren has actually written these some questions that we're gonna
Okay.
grill you with.
I'm so ready.
Yes.
Interrogate me.
Yes. Okay. And we might have some overlap with like content that you've given us with regards to like the 8 books that have made you. But can you remember a time when reading felt meaningful or powerful to you? And what was happening then?
Ooh.
And if you need time to think, that's great because
Okay.
I would have a hard time if someone just like
Okay.
shot that at me.
That sounds
I love
good. I think actually I kind of have an answer pretty quick to this one, only because it's recent. I
Okay.
feel like
Yeah.
it was
Let's hear it.
that's kind of like nice. But I don't know. Like I got a new job like a year and a half ago, and I fit in fine. Like it was fun and stuff. But it's a job where you kind of have a lot of time to yourself, and like I was like wanting to get back into reading, and so I started listening to audiobooks more. And then I started buying more books, like physical copies of books, and I started reading more at home. And like it was just really therapeutic for me, because when you start a new job, it's always stressful no matter what. Even if you're qualified, even if you know what you're doing.
There's always a learning curve.
There's always a learning curve, and this job was really steep learning curve, and so having books to fall back on was really nice. And like, I don't know, I was just able to go back to a lot of books that I had read as a kid and kind of just felt that like familiarity again. And I don't know, it was, so like I would say probably last year was like the last time that happened.
Yeah.
And I just got into this huge reading kick.
You know what book like sparked that for you? Is there a book that like
Ooh,
really like put that in there?
You know, it was probably Rebecca, honestly.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I think it was Rebecca, yeah. And Rebecca is not like a light read, I would say. It's pretty big and like it's a classic, and so it kind of reads a little slow sometimes and stuff. But I think after that, I was like, oh, there's some really good books out there.
Yeah.
I gotta start reading
I
again.
had the same thing in high school with Jane Eyre. Like I had been a reader, but that was the first one where I read it and I was like, I get it.
Yeah.
And it's also
Yeah.
like you
Yeah.
chose it
Yeah.
Yes.
versus it being like
Assigned.
Yeah. Jane Eyre and Rebecca were very similar to me vibe-wise. Like,
they
just
do give
atmospheric.
similar vibes.
Yes, it's like dark, just kind of angsty. Like it's cool. Yeah.
So at that time period when reading wasn't a big part of your life, like why do you think that was? Why do you think that like dropped off?
I think genuinely that was when my anxiety was really bad. So, like mental health was kind of all over the place, and I couldn't sit down and focus for a long time.
Yeah.
And so like the time where I was kind of high school and college, there was like that few years where I was really just, there were so many things pulling for my attention that like I was just anxious and stuff.
Yeah.
And so I think I just couldn't focus. But then I feel like audiobooks actually helped, because now I can like, I don't know, visualize it a little bit better and stuff. So
you can do other things while you listen to it.
yes, yeah. And now I'm able to like sit down and read a physical book as well. But like,
I love mixing it.
yeah, it's nice to mix
There
now.
are some
Yeah.
books that I have preferred listening to it than reading it, actually.
Yeah, some of them are so entertaining. But
Like
yeah,
some of them are just kind of like light and fluffy, so they're just fun to listen to.
agreed.
And
I've-
if they have a cool accent.
yes, I've also found that like if I read the audiobook first, I can sit down and read the physical copy afterwards and like pick up on more as well, because I'm like, I don't know if that makes sense, but
No,
yeah.
it does make sense.
It
Yeah.
engages you in like different ways.
Yeah.
Awesome. What do you turn to when you need to learn something, escape, or feel inspired? So what do you usually turn to when you need to learn something, or if you need to escape, or you want to feel inspired? What do you turn to usually, and does reading ever play a role in that?
Ooh, that's a good question. Okay, yes. Yes to the last question, yes. I would say I always turn back to things that give me the vibes or like the feelings I got when I was a kid reading. So like
the inner child.
yes, the inner child, but like just themes that I feel like I can relate to a lot, like A Monster Calls, for example. Should have made the list, honestly, but like it was just kind of short or whatever. But like themes that I feel like I just need to hear again, you know, or like need to experience again, and like stuff like that I will turn to. Or like Spiderwick Chronicles, I haven't read in a long time, but like things that give me that feeling again, where it's just like, ooh, you know, like I read Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies.
That's the one I love listening to.
I loved it.
It's
but
so
like,
good.
yes, it's so cute. It's not a deep read. It's not crazy. Like, it's yeah. There are flaws in it.
Feeling from
Yes, but it was just so cozy, and like things like that helped me kind of escape from things. And so, like, yeah.
I know. I thought it was going to be this long chronicle with only 3 books, and
Yes.
I'm so depressed.
I know. It's
I
like,
thought
what?
it was going to be like episodic. Like you would just like
Yes.
sit and like have little moments in her life and just go through it. Oh, it's the
That's
best.
why I think that a lot of the things on my list were books that involved like things in their past. Because like Ocean at the End of the Lane is mostly memory based. A Monster Calls, it's a little boy.
There's nostalgia.
Yes, The
also.
Light Keepers, she's overcoming the grief of her mom dying years ago. Like it's just things that kind of bring you back to childhood.
I wonder if there's like a psychological thing there.
Probably. I probably have some deep rooted stuff or whatever.
I don't know. I think a lot of us do, because like you know, like I was talking to a friend like a while ago about this, and they said that like something that their therapist had said was to listen to music from when they were younger.
Oh,
Like you know,
yeah.
like that feeling when you're like, and it can be a crappy song. Like there's like Black Eyed Peas song. Well, like no shade to Black Eyed Peas. But,
Shade.
Like, but like there's like music that will come on and it's like an immediate endorphin kick. Because
Yeah.
it's like, oh, I listened to this as a kid.
Yes.
And so I feel like stories that like captured us like as kids, like The Leafman. I don't know if you guys remember that kid book. It's called
no.
The
No
Leafman.
idea.
Yeah, no.
My brother read this, but I like they would read it as kids, and when I read it, it's like it does something to my brain.
Yeah.
When you tap back into it. I think they made a movie adaptation, Epic.
Oh, I've seen Epic.
Yeah,
I was wondering
it's
if
based
the
off
Leafman.
of that book
Okay.
story. It's not the same. Like
Oh.
they changed the characters, but it's that concept of like
The
these
little leaf.
green
Yeah.
leaf men out in the woods, and
Aw.
and so I think there's something really intimate and powerful about those, like tapping into
Yeah.
like books when you're a kid to be inspired. Or,
Yeah.
like,
Mhm.
I don't know.
Whether
Love
that's
that.
books or movies, I just feel like stories are
Yeah,
just like
stories.
really powerful.
Is there a book out there that scares you in any way that you really want to read? Like you feel like you either don't have enough time to read it, or it's long, or it's complicated, but you really want to do it?
Ooh.
Is there like a goal book out there for you?
Ooh.
It would be a classic. I'm just
Mhm.
debating which one. It would be one of the thick classics.
Uh-huh.
I read Count of Monte Cristo, which terrified me because it was so big.
Oh,
Probably
'cause if
something
you
like
read-
that.
oh, yeah.
Like Gone with the Wind,
Mm-hmm.
Wuthering Heights.
Wuthering
haven't
Heights
read
is
it
a good
forever.
one.
Yeah.
That one's not super long, but it's
Yeah,
hard.
yeah. I would
Yeah.
say Gone with the Wind, honestly, probably for my answer. Because, like,
Mm.
I want to read it. It's just sitting on my parents' bookshelf, and
Isn't
it's
that your
like
mom's
this
favorite
thick.
book?
One of her favorite books.
One of them?
It's not her favorite anymore, I don't think, but like,
I
yeah.
just seen the movie and I cannot stand the main character, so I'm like,
Yeah.
how could I read a book
Yeah.
when there's a main character that drives me nuts? But I think I need to try it because
See,
Yeah.
but I've read books before where I thought that and I kind of liked it.
yeah.
Yes. And that's why I kind of want to give it a chance. This is another thing. I've like kind of subconsciously, but like purposely at the same time, like avoided learning about Gone with the Wind. I don't even know what it's about. Like I have no
Good,
idea because
'cause
I've kind
then
of just
either.
like
You want to
push it
experience
aside. Yeah.
it.
So part of me is because I'm scared.
Yeah.
So like I want to read that eventually.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah.
I watched the movie and we quote it all the time.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I know.
Do,
Yeah.
do, do. The music is so good. It's the longest movie ever, though. Like,
Oh,
when I was a kid,
It's the
I was
longest
like,
book ever too. It's
Yeah.
like this thick.
well, they adapted it all, I guess.
the whole thing.
They
This
got
is
an
7 hours.
intermission.
Uh-huh.
Anyways,
That's awesome.
we might cut this, maybe. I don't know.
Don't do it.
I'm not going to.
I love that.
Okay. Oh
I
yeah,
feel
you.
that.
Sometimes when I know that Callie is editing this episode, I'm like, I gotta be careful.
She's gonna leave all the things
She's gonna
in.
leave the like most cringe moments that I have.
do.
I love
do.
this.
Man, I need to not be as authentic on here.
It's so
Calm
funny.
down.
To be.
Anyways, Gone with the Wind.
Yes.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
When you
Good.
approach it, let me know. We'll try it together.
Okay.
Yeah, let us know.
In 50
'cause I
years, I'll
have
let you
none
know.
either.
Yeah. Sounds good.
I feel like I have a whole shelf that's just full of those.
Mine
type
is
of
like
books.
all the Russian authors.
Yes.
I'm like, eventually we'll
Oh,
get to.
Girl, I haven't even considered that. So like that's also on the
know.
list, I guess.
I like tried it and I'm like, dude, you go in between German and French. I don't know what's happening right now. I need like
Yeah.
the simplified. I need like the dummy version.
books that you need to have a dictionary or like thesaurus open as you read,
Yeah,
I avoid
that's fair.
like
Yeah.
the plague.
Like-
So I just
I'm
don't
like, unless
read
I'm at
it.
home and I'm like pen in hand.
Yeah,
But-
that's true.
I
Anyways.
get it.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Okay. There's a few questions in here that are a little bit like chunky, so we'll make it chunky.
That is totally fine. I will do my best.
Is there a book, story, or written word of some sort
Written word.
that has ever left a lasting impact on you? And like, if there is, how so?
Honestly, Ocean at the End of the Lane.
Okay.
You're gonna get sick of me
No,
saying
I
that
like
title.
it. I like
Well,
it.
it made you.
Honestly,
It's one of your books that made you. So.
It made me like I had to sit for a solid like 10 minutes after putting that book down
Mm.
and just like think. Like not a lot of books make me think, and so I just kind of had to sit there. And honestly, if I had to recount the entire plot to you, I probably couldn't, because like it
That's
was
okay.
there was a lot happening, and even a short amount of time there was a lot happening, but it was like I just felt so much. It was like what's
big
happening?
emotions.
Yeah, but I would say The Ocean at the End of the Lane. It was very nostalgic, and like reading that book, I read it for the first time last year, and I feel like I was remembering something from when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like didn't happen, but like you know, like you just kind of feel like you're with the main character so much that you're like,
that's the
Yeah,
best.
all these things. Because the first and last chapter, he goes back to his childhood home because
Okay.
he's visiting his hometown for a funeral. And so he goes back to his hometown, and while there's a break, whatever, he goes and he's like, I'm just gonna go check out my home that I grew up in, right?
Mhm.
And he goes there and he's hit with all these memories of like stuff that happened.
Ah.
And so like that's the whole thing, and it's fantasy and it's spooky and like there's crazy things happening and stuff. But you kind of just are thinking about the stuff, you're like, yeah, what memories have I kind of pushed aside, or like imagination, that I've kind of forgotten from when I was a kid and stuff. So I think that book has lasted with me for a while.
I love that.
Yeah.
And like sometimes I feel like you remember things differently
Yeah.
when you're like a kid,
Yeah.
and then you go back and you're like, wow, this is like way
Yeah.
different.
Mhm.
And like I was a fool as a child, but like sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, she had some good imagination. Like,
Aw.
you kind of are like, you change obviously, thank goodness. But like
Yeah.
but like the core parts of you I feel like stay the same. And so
Mhm.
I don't know. That's kind of what that book brought out.
There's like a remembering
Yeah.
aspect of like who
Yeah.
you were, bringing you back to your roots.
Yes.
I love that so much.
Yeah.
I want to read this. I want to like have a film
I
adaptation.
know.
of
I
this.
feel like I need to go home and just read this book now.
Yeah.
I would like to say I have the illustrated version. If either of you would like to borrow it,
Okay.
totally do
It
it.
sounds like something we might want to just buy.
Honestly, it's so good.
because it sounds like something you'd want to like own.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you might read it and be
Yeah.
like, "This is garbage," but for me, it was great.
I think
It
it
was
sounds- I think it
so
sounds
good.
great.
It was very well written.
I love reading books that people love, and
Yeah.
even if I
Yeah.
don't necessarily get it, I just love
You
like
like to
trying to like
appreciate
figure
it.
out.
Yeah.
Like I can see why they love that, and like I feel like you learn more about that person.
Yes. That's so true. Honestly, like I think it was Lauren who said this. Like, you can tell a lot about a person by their favorite books, or maybe it was you. Like, that is so true. If I were to ask someone, "What are your top 3 favorite books?" you can tell a lot about a person
Oh, yeah.
just by that.
Yeah.
So
I was
yeah.
just like called out. Actually, like if someone was like "It" by Stephen King, I'd be like,
There
"Hmm."
are those people out there.
Well, I don't, but it's true. Like it tells a lot about a person, and also
Yeah.
like Stephen
Yeah.
King, arguably
Stephen
is
King
a great author.
Has a book I really want to read. What's it called? It's not 9/11, but it's a date. It's not 9/11, guys. But I feel like it's September.
That's the date that came to your mind?
It is.
You're like, okay.
When you're editing this, please
Tuesday.
zoom up on the face I just made. I was just like,
Yeah.
It's a date in September, I think. I don't
That
know.
was a bad call. Why did they do that?
I'm gonna look this
"Won't
up.
you
It's
be
gonna
like
bug
March
me.
4th or something?" And we're like, "Callie,
Like,
no."
it's like, Callie,
What?
you've been watching too much of those Smosh
Admittedly,
videos.
the only
Just
thing
kidding.
of Stephen King's I own is his on writing memoir. I have his book
Oh.
on writing.
Yeah.
It's not a novel. It's just like a memoir.
But like arguably,
It's really good.
people talk about Stephen King being a very good
It's not in
author.
September.
What is it?
It's
It's
11.
October.
It's 11/22/63.
There was a 1 in there.
There's an 11.
There's 11.
You had some stuff there. It was. It was
You
good.
missed.
There was.
I heard that
There was
book is
something.
really
Okay, you
good.
just took a couple
And
months
it's
off.
not like it's not necessarily like It or those kind of books, but it's still horror. But I heard it's really, really good. It's like
Interesting.
It came out in 2011.
I will
Yeah.
I will let you enjoy
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
from a
I'll let
distance.
you know.
Yeah, you can-
I will provide the popcorn and the tears, but I will not be reading it.
Yeah. Emotional support. Yeah,
Yeah.
but like, so there was like no shade there, but I'm just
Yeah.
like, that was like, I feel like there's those kinds of books that when people say like, that's like one of their
Yeah.
favorite books, you're just like, you get a sense of
Interesting.
who they are, or
Yeah.
like
It's
what
true.
they like, I don't know. Anyway.
Good and bad, honestly.
Good and bad.
Some people will be like, "I read this book," and I was like, "We need to be friends immediately."
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
100%. We are the same person.
We're the
I've
same
just met
person.
you. So yeah.
What do you think reading can offer people, not just individually, but in a larger sense, like as a culture, community, or society?
I have an answer.
I'm ready.
I don't know what this was, but I have an answer. Empathy, and the ability to
Yeah.
understand other people's opinions and problems.
Mhm.
I feel like reading more than anything. Okay, maybe not more than anything, but more than a lot of things, helps people develop empathy in a way that social media will never do.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
It
when
tries, but it
it
doesn't
tries, it just does not work. I feel like reading could offer culture as a whole a lot of empathy for other people and other people's opinions. Because like one of the most valuable skills in life is to be able to get along or like be civil with someone that you don't agree with.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you're reading books that have different perspectives, different characters, different motivations, different backgrounds, it is so valuable because like you get to know, okay, actually, yeah, this character did this. I didn't agree with that. That was stupid. Actually, though, I can see why they did it. You know, if you're like having that mindset as you read, then like the next person you might meet on the street or like read a post from, you'll be like, I don't agree with that. That's stupid. And like, actually, though, they did it for a reason. You know, like just things like that. That probably doesn't happen, but like you get what I'm saying. Just like you develop empathy from reading.
You practice, so then when you get to real life, you can actually do it.
And I feel like the majority of the time I've read really big readers, they have been very empathetic people. And so, I don't know. I don't know if there's a correlation there at all, but to me there is. So I feel like it could take.
It's kind of like reading a book where you don't necessarily like the main character.
Yeah.
Like, you read The Poppy War, right?
It's my favorite book at the moment.
Did you read the whole series?
I have not read the second and third one yet.
I'm not gonna spoil it for anything, but I feel like the first book, the main character, you can get behind her.
Yeah.
For most of the stuff she does.
Yeah.
But then at the end, something happens, and you're like,
she's got
what?
Yeah.
Why would you do that? That's so dumb. And then you get to the second book, and it just gets worse.
Yeah.
But I feel like you can have empathy with her, though, because you're in her brain.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I would not do that.
Yeah.
But I get why.
Yeah.
So then you still, like, you care for her, and then you get to the very end, and you're like, I see why that had to happen.
Yeah.
But in the moment, you had to, like, really be okay with it.
Yeah. You have
And,
to,
like, let the character, like, make mistakes and make decisions like people in real life.
Yeah.
And then just kind of, like, be patient with them, and that's a fantasy book.
Yeah.
And you can
totally
get that.
Yeah. And it's like, there's so many things. The Poppy War is my favorite book at the moment. It wasn't on the book of, it wasn't on the list of 8 because that was kind of at a time that I read that where it wasn't in the reading thing. But anyways, the Poppy War is like amazing, and I recommend this book to very few people because it's like
it's hard.
It's tough to read in some parts, but like I recommended it to my dad, which was a mistake. My dad, not to call out my dad, but my dad does not like books in which the protagonist is not a good guy. Mm-hmm. And the Poppy War main character, Rin, is not a good guy. She has morally like leaning not white.
It's like darkness.
Yes. There's like black, gray, white. And she's like but like you still love her though. And at least I have so far. I started Dragon Republic.
You have to stick with her for a while.
Yes, you have to kind of like whatever. But yeah, my point is I've met people that like do not like that. And they don't like, not even just the Poppy War, but like characters that are not, you can't root for them as much. But like I love it if I can't root for a character that like 100%, because then I'm like,
they feel
like I have never met one person in my life who has been so good of a person that no matter what they did was perfect. Like there's no one out there like that. Like I just love flawed characters because I feel like I'm very flawed, and it's nice to see myself. Okay, I'm not written like I'm not genocidal maniac, but like I like to see myself in imperfect characters that like don't know what they're doing half the time because I'm like, that's me, you know.
You need to read anything by James Baldwin.
Okay.
All of his characters are like that.
Really?
They're all very flawed.
Yeah.
But in situations that are also complicated.
Yeah.
So you can't fully fault them, but you can also recognize like,
But then it makes you think. It makes you think because it's like, okay, what would I do in that situation? You know, like what would I do differently? It makes you think, and I think it's good to disagree, like with characters. So I don't know.
You disagree a lot with Rin. You're like, huh. Yeah.
I disagree with you 100%, but you know. You do you, girl. You do you.
I can see it.
Yeah. I think I like those books, but it definitely is hard to read.
It is hard to read.
It can be a chore sometimes because you're just like...
Yeah.
Or sometimes they just go through horrible things.
Yeah.
And you're just like, man.
Well, the thing is, too, is I feel like Rin, most of the time, I'm not even feeling bad for her at all. I don't pity her at all because I'm like, girl, you're crazy. But I like how the author's point was not to make her, like, able to be rooted for. Like, she was not going in... She was like, what if Mao was a teenage girl? Like that was her whole thing. He was a psychopath. He was like genocidal, like all these things. And her basic thing was like exploring the point of, or the question of, what if he was a teenage girl? And like that's her whole thing. Same with like Frank Herbert's Dune. Paul is not a hero.
No.
He is not. But like his point was not making him a hero.
You
so
kind of root for him though.
Yeah.
You do. In the first book.
In the first book.
And then it kind of goes downhill. But
well, because then I think the author was making explicit, like, no, you're not supposed to like Paul.
Yeah. I've seen interviews with him where I've seen interviews, or like, not interviews, like, I don't know, people were quoting him saying, like, I wrote the first book, and then people misunderstood it, so I wrote the second book. Because, like, they thought Paul was the hero, and it's like, no.
No.
Well, I didn't get that at the end of the first, or the end of the second one, the second movie. And then I read the book, and I was like, oh.
Oh.
But you're still able to empathize, so yeah.
Yeah, totally. Totally. Okay, well, now it's the culminating question, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I should have been preparing for this.
No, it's okay. I feel like this whole, like, interview has prepared you for this moment. Yeah. Why do you read?
Why do you read?
Why?
Well, but why?
Well, okay, I want to justify the question a little bit.
Yeah.
Only because reading, I was thinking about this the other day. Yeah. It's a little weird. Like, why do we sit down and stare at words on a page and, like, imagine things that aren't actually happening?
Yeah.
Because I could see someone who uses the same argument for social media being like, go outside into the real world.
Yeah.
Like, why are you wasting your time?
Or,
But, like, I don't think it's a waste of time. So, like, why do you read?
Yeah.
Why?
But
why?
Why?
I feel like the easy answer is to say, like, escapism. But, like, I don't really feel like it's that anymore for me. I think I read to, like, I just like stories. I just really love stories. And I love when people tell stories. I love listening to stories. I love telling stories. Like, it's just really fun. And I like getting into the mind of the person who wrote the book. And, like, you can tell a lot about a person by the characters they create and stuff. And the world. And, like, I don't know. It just is really fun for my brain to, like, just imagine all these made-up worlds and, like, characters and stuff. And realize that those are not real people. Those are not real places. But somebody, like me, made that up. Like, we are all capable of making stuff up like that. And just, like, creating.
Someone
I feel
real
like,
made it.
Yeah, I just feel like creating is such an innate part of all of us. And I love seeing that come to fruition. And, like, I don't know. I just think that creating stories is a really powerful thing. And I really like reading it.
Yeah, because you're a writer also.
Yeah.
So do you think as you have become a writer that's the reason why it's changed for you?
Maybe. I mean, like, I feel like since I was reading as a little kid, I've always wanted to write things. But it probably started with that, like, realizing, oh, somebody created this story all in their imagination and, like, made it something that people can experience too. And, like, I just love that idea. And so I feel like because of that, I wanted to be a writer because I realized that that's possible to do that, you know? And I'm like, I want people to experience these made-up things, like, you know, that I can create and these stories that I can tell. And so I don't know, I just think it's really a human experience to read.
Yeah, I was about to, like, say, like, everything that you've been saying, like, to me, like, I feel like why I read and why I think people should read is because it, like, maybe it's not that it makes us human, but it keeps us human. Yeah. Like, I just feel like what you said, the biggest thing is empathy. And I feel like that's such a important part of humanity is being able to always have empathy, especially, like, nowadays. Or just, like, in general. Because there's so much, like, tension, I feel like. And that's, like, been like that forever. Like, there's always been, like, tension. And
it's just louder now.
But it just feels loud with social media, especially. And I think reading gives you that grounding moment to be able to, like, learn how to understand people better.
Well,
why do you guys like to read?
Ooh, throwing it back to us.
Yeah. Probably, like,
what you were saying.
I feel like it makes us, I don't know, like, you experience empathy, but you also experience, like, pity and, like, just the range of human emotion. Yeah. And
you feel angry and you feel sad and you just feel excited and
I think I read, I don't know if that's the reason, but I see it as a byproduct of reading. Like, reading keeping our humanity, I guess.
That's a hard question.
It is.
I'm, like, trying to really pinpoint it, and I don't know if I can.
I feel like I'm going to watch this back and be like, that was not the greatest answer I gave, but, like...
Well, I think you change, though, too. Like, reading obviously becomes different. It, like, has different functions for you throughout life. Yeah. I guess.
I don't know. Well, because I feel like as a kid, my dad would read to me, so that's how I developed the love for reading as a young child. And then I just thought it was fun. Yeah. And then I got to middle school, and it kind of died. And then I got to high school, and I, like, rediscovered it, and I was like, oh, it can be something that, like, enhances me. Gave more empathy and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And then as I've gotten older, it's, like, it's deeper than that, but I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
I know.
I don't.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
I'm
Yes.
gonna be editing this and be like, oh, why didn't I say this? But it feels deeper. Like when I'm reading something like the Poppy War, just because that's off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Like there is just something about reading it that feels deeper.
Yeah.
It's not just empathy, and it's that, and I love the prose and like seeing how someone can creatively put words together and. I don't know.
Well, and
it's
like things
so
like that. Yeah, and books can inspire you to do so many things. Like some books I read, I'm like, I want to learn more about that time period now. Mm-hmm. Like I just want to learn all these things. Like after the Poppy War, I wanted to go learn about the Japanese like Sino Wars, like all these things, right? Because it's based on like actual history, and I learned so much more from that because I read some silly fantasy book, you know. But like I actually went and learned about world history from that, and like I don't know, just it's very valid to learn too. Like you read to learn as well.
Yeah, I also just think like sometimes there's this. I put it in one of our reels, but there's this moment in Matilda.
I know what you're talking about.
Where where it's like talking about how like all the voices that have nurtured her through authors, gave Matilda the hopeful message that she's not alone.
Yeah.
And I just like, and I get chills like thinking about that because I think I read because there are times that I just feel really alone.
Yeah.
And in an experience that you can't really like expect someone else to empathize with you for. And sometimes when you read, things are just put in a way that are so comforting. And I think of like when I graduated, one of the speakers talked about monster calls. And he was talking about, oh yeah, you were there.
Yeah.
Cause it was
I was
English.
not. Tell the story. I want to hear it.
Well, because like I was like I couldn't remember if it was like commencement or if it was like our like humanities.
It was
the humanities one. Mm-hmm. And his dad had cancer and was dying, and it was like a similar situation to Connor in A Monster Calls. And there's gonna be spoilers, but basically he loves the humanities and like reading and books because this book helped like put in words his experience because he didn't want to go see his dad.
Yeah.
Because his dad was not his like dad. Well, he was his dad, but he was suffering.
Yeah.
And he just would rather his dad pass away because it was so painful.
Yeah.
And the whole thing about A Monster Calls is that he's both holding on to his mom and wanting to let her go, but feeling like horrible that he wanted to let her go because he just wanted the pain to end. He just wanted it to be over. And I think that's like another huge thing about reading is it can make you not feel alone because he felt so horrible about feeling that way.
Yeah.
Like he felt like a bad son because he didn't want to see his dad because he knew his dad was going to die. Yeah. And he just wanted it to be over.
Yeah.
And then someone like literally like has that experience in a fictitious world. But it made him realize that he's not alone. And so I think that's another thing is I think we can feel very lonely even when we're surrounded by people. And books have a way of making us feel like there's someone else out there that understands us, even if they're not real.
Yeah, like even in silly fantasy books, like The Sword of Kylee, has nothing to do with my life. Nothing. But there's just something about like each character that I can kind of, in a way, relate to. And I love like the grace that the author gives each character and like really takes the time to develop them as like whole.
Yeah.
So then it's like, oh, okay, I just need time to develop, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
like, I just need my story to cook a little bit more.
Yeah. Like, okay, I'm not a lost cause. I just need to have my character arc still. Like, it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm in the middle.
I feel like it's also easier because usually in a plot, the character goes through something super, super hard, right? And then they usually come out of it in some way. So it is also very hopeful.
Yes.
To like read something where it's like, okay, even though that's never going to happen to me, like some magical person's not going to come and make a tornado.
Yeah.
But like
something will probably happen.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that so much. Reading, guys. You should try it.
You should try it.
Cool. Do you have any more questions?
I don't. I feel very.
This is a good conversation. We need to have you back.
Yeah. I feel
it's really fun.
Peace with this conversation, I guess.
Thanks for having me. It was really fun.
Thank you for being here. You're our first guest ever.
I know, this is a big moment. We
Oh
want
my
to have
gosh.
more guests.
Aww.
But it's kind of nerve-wracking. It's like, Who else do we know?
Also, like,
what friends do we have?
we're like, you're our guinea pigs, so we're testing out our hosting skills.
Yep.
You guys did great, honestly.
Well, you're easy to be with, so.
Yeah, you're so great.
It's the biggest compliment I've ever received.
Like,
Thanks.
truly the nicest, like, writer, artist you could ever have in your circle, but also
That's
just as a
true.
human being. Like,
Well,
truly kind person, so.
You
we're
guys
thankful
make
for
it
you.
really easy. You're the best. Thanks for having me.
Hey guys, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, we will see you. We kind of already said this, but oh no. So our next book
Yeah.
is called.
I can never say it in the right order. I totally just.
So we're gonna do a children's book.
Surprise.
Fun.
Yes.
The
Fun.
Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse.
That's-
by Charlie
Yeah.
McCasey.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I want to
'Cause
read it.
we have children's book is another aspect of reading that's very important, even
A
as
genre.
adults. Is
Yeah.
genre even as an
Yeah.
adult? I love this book, so I'm very excited.
I'm
I'm excited.
that people think this book is meant both for children, but also like older generation.
Oh, 100%.
And I'm excited to explore that because I've never read it. Callie's read it,
Mhm.
and so
I've never read it. I'm excited.
It
gonna be
was
awesome.
they were selling it at an old place I used to work, and so I bought it on a whim, and I read it on my shift.
And
just cried.
So we're just
Yes.
gonna tap into it.
Crying. Let's
Tap
do
into,
it.
Yeah, the theme. Tap into your inner child.
You set us up.
Yeah, you
Child.
did. It was prophetic.
It was.
Okay.
All right, but we will see you guys next time. Bye.